The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is packed full of secrets and loads of Easter eggs. The game is huge and it's got loads of references to previous Zelda games as well, so I've already been through a bunch of secrets from Tears of the Kingdom and you should definitely check that out, but today I'm going to go through more things that you should know about the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Well, if you enjoyed this video or find it useful, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for even more Zelda content. And also stick around to the end of the video to find out about an exclusive offer that I've got for YouTube members. Okay, without further delay, let's dive into these secrets. So first of all, we've got Twilight Princess weapons. So Tears of the Kingdom has a whole load of references to older games with weapons, even narrative moments. So some of the biggest and the best references to older games lie with some of the weapons that can be found all over Hyrule. And a couple of the most recognisable weapons are from Twilight Princess, and they include the Dusk Bow and the Dusk Claymore. So while the original weapons have different names, for example the Twilight Bow and the Sword of the Six Sages, they are very recognisable regarding their design. So you can find the Dusk Bow in Hyrule Castle, and also the Claymore is found in the Typhlo Ruins, and that is north of Great Hyrule Forest. So if you want to seek out these weapons, then do be aware you will need to complete the Regional Phenomena questline, and also start the Investigate the Typhlo Ruins side adventure. Well, next up we've got Cherry Blossom Guidance. There's loads of interesting plants and trees in Tears of the Kingdom, including beautiful cherry trees often found on the top of hills all around Hyrule. So they stand out in the landscape given their pale pink leaves, and these trees also hold interesting secrets. So at the base of each cherry blossom tree you're going to find a stone altar. Place a piece of fruit on the altar and a Satori Lord of the Mountain will appear. The Satori then mark the surrounding caves with a pillar of light. These directions stay on the map for a full day and night, allowing you to explore them in good time. Plus also they stay there if you fast travel. So if you're having trouble finding the cherry trees, do not worry. So all you need to do is go to Hyrule Field's outskirts stable, and you're going to find a map there with every cherry blossom tree marked on it. So what you can do is take a photo of it with your Pura pad, and you can use this as a reference when hunting for caves. Well, next up we got some unique Gerudo dialogues. There's a lone Gerudo in the sewers beneath Gerudo Town named Caliban. So you will have likely seen the messages in the bottles floating in the water in the sewers if you've been down there, and they're all penned by Caliban. So you can read the messages, plus you can also find Caliban. However, this isn't enough to trigger the side quest. What you can do is return a bottle to Caliban. That's going to trigger some unique dialogue. This leads to Caliban falling in love with Link. Well, next up we got a random buff to weapons, so similar to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom features breakable weapons. Well, thanks to the fuse ability you can bolster the weapons and make them more robust, but eventually they will all break. And this is where the rock Octoroks come into play. These are large enemies that pop out the ground and fire rocks at Link, damaging him from a distance. If you throw your weapons into an Octorok's mouth, it will suck the weapon into its belly, and then something happens. The weapon is repaired, and additionally it gets a random buff. It also turns rusty weapons into regular weapons. Unfortunately, you don't get to choose what the weapon buff is though, but you can just save before you do it and reload until you get the weapon buff that you want. Rock Octoroks also have one repair per Blood Moon, so it is worth bearing that in mind. Also, Rock Octoroks can't repair weapons that you gain through amiibos. Well, next up we got a Link to the Past. So throughout the story we hear much about the Imprisioning War. This happens to be in the very distant past, but we learn much about the battles between the sages, Rauru and Ganondorf. However, this isn't the first time that we've heard about the Imprisioning War. A Link to the Past also mentions the Imprisioning War when sealing away Ganon in the Dark World. I assume these are the same war, even though one is imprisoning Ganon and the other is Ganondorf. I'm sure this one's going to spark a debate, so let me know what you think down there in the comments. Next up we got Ganondorf Kneeling. So there's one callback above all others that stood out to me in Tears of the Kingdom, and that is Ganondorf kneeling in front of King Rauru. In Ocarina of Time, when we first meet Princess Zelda as a child, we peek through the window to see Ganondorf kneeling before the King of Hyrule. Ganondorf turns and sees Link at the window before Link hides. Then in Tears of the Kingdom, we got a cutscene during one of the Dragon Tear memories. Ganondorf pledges allegiance to King Rauru in a moment that was clearly designed to call back to Ocarina of Time. Well, next up we got a call back to the Windfish and Tal Tal Peak, so above Tal Tal Peak you're going to find a fish-shaped island. Tal Tal Peak is a callback to Link's Awakening, with its very own Tal Tal Mountain and the Windfish. In Tears of the Kingdom, you're going to find a fish-shaped island over Tal Tal Peak as part of the Clues to the Sky Zora questline. Well, next up we got Create Ice Blocks, so one of the main differences between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are Link's abilities. Back in Breath of the Wild, one of the most useful abilities to traverse across bodies of water was Cryonis, the ability to allow Link to freeze something and create ice blocks. In Tears of the Kingdom you can create ice blocks, however the method is slightly different. So we got an item called Ice Fruit or White Choo Choo Jelly to help us create ice blocks, and these items can be thrown into water, and once again Link can create ice blocks to help traversal across the water. Well, next up we got the Rito Wind Waker references. So the Rito questline has got loads of callbacks to Wind Waker, including the music, the environment, and also the boss fight as well. So we've heard the musical connections to Wind Waker through the Rito with the use of the Dragon Roost Island theme. As we approach the Wind Temple, we've also got to navigate a number of flying boats. Plus also the boss Colgera is similar to Mulgera from Wind Waker. And also when we fight Colgera, we get a nice remix of the Dragon Roost Island theme.
It's coming from below again!
Well, next up we got Twinrova, so in another callback to Ocarina of Time, we see a brief glimpse of Kome and Kotake, otherwise known as Twinrova. So in Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf was raised by two witches. Each of them have the ability to control elements, one fire and one ice. So during the memory called Fealty, Ganondorf meets King Rauru but is flanked by two Gerudo women. One is wearing a red sash and one is wearing a blue sash, nodding to Kome and Kotake's fire and ice abilities. Well, finally, we've got the Midna musical Easter Egg, so one of the biggest Easter eggs in the game is a fairly regular occurrence, and it's one that's hard to spot at first, but when you do, it's hard to get out of your head. So whenever Link finds a shrine in Tears of the Kingdom, a short piece of music plays. This is very similar to Midna's theme from Twilight Princess. I don't know if Nintendo are alluding to a link between the Twili and the Zonai, but it's clearly the same notes. Nintendo, well, they are always very deliberate when it comes to their music in a Zelda game. Well, let me know in the comments what you think, and also share your Tears of the Kingdom secrets with the wider community. Well, that is it for this video, looking at more things that you may not know about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget you can hit that subscribe button down below for even more Zelda content here on Triforce Times. You can also like the video and share the video too. That would really help me out here on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon. Well, this video is brought to you by Triforce Times Backstage. This is available through Patreon or YouTube membership, and you're going to get exclusive benefits, plus you'll be able to go above and beyond to support Triforce Times. Free content is core to Triforce Times, and you can continue to enjoy these videos that you know and love. However, if you want to enjoy the benefits like early access, our community Discord, shoutouts and the credits of videos, content polls and exclusive videos, then select the tier that is right for you and join Triforce Times Backstage today. So help me make Triforce Times be even bigger and better, plus you're going to get some added benefits for a small fee every month. Well, thank you for listening, and now it is time to go back to the video.